After a brief period during which it seemed maybe Republicans were moving on from the impeachment inquiry and potential impeachment of President Joe Biden, they are back full force. And I really mean full force, where now Republicans are saying we will almost certainly be impeaching Joe Biden in 2024. When we ask them why, the answers don't make any sense. We'll get to that in a moment, but let's take a look at a couple of clips. Here is Republican Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna telling Jesse Waters on Fox News she indeed expects that impeachment is something that will happen in 2024.
I do believe that in my time in Congress for the 118th Congress, I will be taking a vote on impeachment, and that's going to be against Joe Biden.
When do you think the time frame for that's going to be?
Well, I think Speaker Johnson is exactly equipped to lay that out, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be at the beginning of next year.
All right.
Now, she says likely impeachment of Biden at the beginning of 2024. Remember that if through some insane situation they impeached Biden in the House and then convicted him in the Senate and removed him, then you get President Kamala Harris. I don't know how many of these people believe that if they were to do that, Trump becomes president, or maybe I don't know what they think would happen. But then you just have President Kamala Harris. And of course, in 2024, there's still going to be a Republican Senate, a Democratic Senate, rather, which I can't imagine is going to vote to convict Joe Biden on impeachment, particularly when there's really no evidence against him. This continued last night. Sean Hannity hosted a room full of Republican members of the House of Representatives. Really weird, really weird. And he asked for a show of hands. Do you believe we are heading towards impeaching Joe Biden? And basically the entire room raised its hands. Let's take a look.
And continue.
Let me scan the room. How many of you think that that's where this is headed? Please raise your hand. Wow. The whole room.
Just about everybody in the room raises their hand and says, I believe we are heading towards the impeachment of Joe Biden. Now, to Hannity's credit, I guess, he did sort of get into the question of, like, why would you impeach Joe Biden? What has Joe Biden done that is impeachable? And it was a pretty funny moment where James Comer held up those two checks from when Joe Biden wasn't even president that involved the repayment of a family loan. Like it's not evidence of any wrongdoing. And also they're dated from when Biden was not president. After holding those up, James Comer seems to suggest that Biden was involved in bribery, a claim, bribing someone with their own money by returning their money to them is really weird. It certainly doesn't sound like a crime. That's for sure. Listen to this.
Laundering. I mean, this family, the crimes that they've committed.
Is it just money laundering, or what do you call it when you get paid for something
Well, if you
like that?
Well, it looks
Shout
like.
it out if you know the answer.
Right, bribery.
Yeah.
That's right. And
Bribery. Folks, they have no evidence of this. Every single time, 40 years in public office, and they just can't find the evidence against Joe Biden. It's really a stunning situation. I am starting to think, call me crazy, I'm starting to think Joe Biden may not have done anything worthy of impeachment. I know that sounds nuts. I know it sounds nuts, but it's possible that the simplest explanation is the correct one, which is they can't find the evidence, not because it's been covered up, not because it's been destroyed, not because Biden is involved in some genius criminal conspiracy, despite being demented and not knowing what day it is, according to these very same Republicans. That's not why there's no evidence. There's no evidence because the evidence doesn't exist, because he didn't actually do anything wrong. Will they impeach him in 2024? I don't know. Let me know what you think. So I wrote another book for kids. The first book was Think Like a Detective. The point of the first book was to teach kids critical thinking, which Republicans don't want them to learn, because when kids learn critical thinking, they don't vote for Republicans. The new book is Think Like a Scientist. This is a fun adventure teaching kids the scientific method. Again, Republicans aren't big on kids learning the scientific method, because when they do, they're less likely to fall for Republican lies about climate change and vaccines and so many other things. You can get the new book as well as the first one at davidpakman.com/book. This is part of the Adventures in Thinking series. Can you imagine that we're doing this? We are. davidpakman.com/book. 13,500 copies of the first book have sold. I'll bring you an update soon on sales for the second book. Think Like a Scientist, davidpakman.com/book.